Unanimous Rookie of the Year selection. She had an incredible year. Number 1 draft pick in April, got 66 of the 67 votes.
You won't believe what just happened. Sheryl Swoopes, yeah, the Sheryl Swoopes, just dropped a bomb about the Rookie of the Year vote. She's clearing the air, and it's not what you think. Ready to hear the truth straight from the legend's mouth? So here's the deal. Everyone's been going crazy, saying Swoopes snubbed Caitlin Clark for ROTY. The WNBA community is on fire. People are mad, tweets are flying, and everyone's got an opinion. But hold up, because this isn't just about one vote. This is about respect. It's about recognizing talent. It's about the future of the WNBA. And you know what? Swoopes has something to say that might change everything. Are you ready to hear what really went down? Because let me tell you, it's not what anyone expected. Swoopes is about to flip the script, and you won't believe what she's about to reveal. Hold up, though. Before we get to Swoopes' bombshell, we've got to look at what sparked this whole debate.
From the national media panel. But she just had a historic year, and I think she really separated herself.
Caitlin Clark stepped into the league and immediately started breaking records. But is raw talent enough to silence all the doubters? Let's talk about Clark's rookie season because it was absolutely insane. This girl came in hot, averaging 19 points, 8.4 assists, and 5.7 rebounds per game. That's not just good, that's veteran-level play from a rookie. She wasn't just keeping up, she was setting the pace. You know what's wild? Clark wasn't just dominating in one area. She was leading all rookies in key categories. We're talking assists, three-pointers, you name it. She knocked down 122 threes during the season. That's not just shooting, that's sharpshooting. But here's where it gets really interesting. After the Olympic break, Clark took her game to a whole new level. It was like she hit a switch, and suddenly, she was playing on a different plane.
We're not doing so hot, and the Fever were doing really, really hot, and Caitlin Clark was a big part of that.
This is when she really started to separate herself from the other rookies. While some were hitting the rookie wall, Clark was smashing through it. Now, with numbers like these, you'd think the Rookie of the Year vote would be a no-brainer, right? Well, check this out. Clark received 66 out of 67 votes for ROTY. That's domination. But it also leaves us with a question. What's up with that one missing vote? Imagine being so good that getting 66 out of 67 votes is considered controversial.
She averaged 19 points, WNBA best, 8.4 assists, 5.7 rebounds, and 1.3 steals.
That's the kind of season Clark had. She wasn't just playing, she was putting on a show every single night. And it wasn't just about the stats. Clark was changing games, influencing outcomes, doing things rookies just aren't supposed to do. Think about it. Most rookies come into the league and need time to adjust. They have good games and bad games. But Clark? She was consistently bringing it, night after night. That's what separates the good from the great. And Clark? She was looking great. While Clark was setting the league on fire, a storm was brewing behind the scenes. Remember that one missing vote for Rookie of the Year? Well, it's time to set the record straight. Sheryl Swoopes just dropped a bombshell that's about to change everything we thought we knew. The WNBA community was on edge, waiting to hear what Swoopes had to say. This wasn't just about a vote anymore. It was about integrity, about the future of the league, and about how we treat our legends. Swoopes, a 4-time WNBA champion, had found herself in the crosshairs of angry fans and media speculation. The pressure was intense, but Swoopes isn't one to back down from a challenge. So, what did she do? She went on a podcast to clear the air. And let me tell you, what she said next left everyone speechless. Are you ready for this? Swoopes dropped the mic with these words, "I do not get a vote. It wasn't me." Boom! Just like that, the narrative flipped on its head. Think about it. All this time, people were pointing fingers at Swoopes, questioning her judgment, even her legacy, and it turns out she didn't even have a say in the matter. Can you imagine being in her shoes, blamed for something you had no part in? But here's where it gets really interesting. Instead of being bitter about the whole situation, Swoopes took the high road. She didn't just clear her name. She went out of her way to praise Clark. What Caitlin was able to do coming into the league this season was just crazy, Swoopes said. That's not just respect, that's real, recognize real. This revelation changes everything. It's not just about clearing Swoopes' name. It's about how quick we are to judge, how easily misinformation spreads in the age of social media. 1 minute, Swoopes is the villain in the Clark story. The next, she's vindicated and praising the very player she was accused of snubbing. You know what's wild? This whole controversy might have actually brought more attention to Clark's incredible season. Sometimes, a little drama can shine an even brighter spotlight on true talent. And make no mistake, Clark's talent is undeniable. Even Swoopes, a legend in her own right, couldn't help but acknowledge it. So, where do we go from here? Well, for starters, maybe we all need to take a deep breath before jumping to conclusions. The WNBA is growing, evolving, and with players like Clark coming in, the future looks bright. But let's not forget the legends who paved the way, like Swoopes. Think Clark's impact stops at the court? Think again. You won't believe what the New York Liberty owner just said about her. While we've been focused on Clark's incredible rookie season, something bigger has been brewing behind the scenes. The WNBA is changing, and Clark might be the catalyst. The New York Liberty owner just dropped a bombshell about Clark's impact on the league. They're saying she's ushered in a new era of attention and prosperity for the WNBA. That's huge. We're not just talking about stats and game highlights anymore. We're talking about a rookie who's changing the entire landscape of women's basketball. But here's where it gets really wild. Clark became a household name before she even stepped foot on a WNBA court. Can you imagine that? Most rookies are trying to prove themselves in their first season. But Clark, she was already a star. The Liberty owner put it perfectly. A lot of these players became household names even before they entered the draft. Now, you might be thinking, hold up. Is it fair to give Clark all the credit? And you're right to ask that. What about the other rookies? Well, the truth is, Clark wasn't alone in making waves. Players like Angel Reese and Cameron Brink also had strong followings coming into the league. But here's the thing. Clark's consistent performance set her apart. It's not just about one player, though. The Liberty owner emphasized that this highly skilled rookie class as a whole has brought significant attention to the WNBA. We're talking about a pivotal moment in the league's history. These young stars are changing the game both on and off the court. But let's be real for a second. Is all this attention good for the WNBA? On one hand, more eyes on the league means more opportunities for growth. On the other hand, there's a risk of overshadowing other talented players who've been putting in work for years. It's a delicate balance, and the league is right in the middle of figuring it out. Here's what's really exciting, though. This surge in popularity isn't just about one season. It's about the future of women's basketball. Clark and her fellow rookies are inspiring a whole new generation of players and fans. They're proving that women's basketball can be just as thrilling, just as competitive, and just as worthy of attention as any other sport. So, what does this mean for the WNBA moving forward? Well, it looks like we're entering a new era, an era where rookies come in with massive followings, where games are selling out, and where the conversation around women's basketball is louder than ever. It's an exciting time to be a fan, that's for sure. All right, let's recap this wild ride. Swoopes cleared her name, Clark dominated the court, and the WNBA is getting a major boost. But here's the real kicker. It's not just about one rookie or one vote. Players like Clark are changing the whole game. Think about it. Clark came in with a massive following, put up insane numbers, and suddenly everyone's talking about women's basketball. The Liberty owner even said players are becoming household names before they hit the court. That's huge. But it's not just Clark. This rookie class is bringing a new level of skill and attention to the WNBA. We're seeing packed arenas, more media coverage, and a whole new generation of fans. It's like the league just hit the turbo button. So, what do you think? Is this the beginning of a new era for women's basketball?